And I was kind of like, oh, whoa, okay, where are we coming from that we're getting to this point? Hey guys, it's Kristen, and today we are talking about Netflix's show Dead to Me Season 2. Dead to Me is a show that I was totally thrilled to find out was getting a second season because I truly loved Season 1. The chemistry and friendship between the characters that Linda Cardellini and Christina Applegate were playing was incredible. The mystery they explored had constant twists and turns that really kept you guessing. But now that Season 2 is here, how does it hold up? Let's dive into it. Consider subscribing if you like my videos, and drop down in the comments and let me know your thoughts on Dead to Me. And just, there may be some spoilers, so you've been warned. In Season 1, Jen is dealing with grief, while Judy is holding on to this big secret and this guilt. This season, their roles actually swap, and you get to see what it's like for each of them to kind of be on the opposite side of the situation. What I think made Season 1 such a standout is the complexity of what we're following. Jen is grieving a loss that becomes more and more complicated the more that we learn about her and her family, while Judy's big crime turns out to be an accident. Like, she's someone who's actually a good person who just made a mistake. And I think in that they did such a great job of exploring Judy's character with her secret and her guilt, and because of that I rooted for Judy. I was on her side. But in Season 2 we're diving into a storyline that can't really be explained away as an accident. I honestly wasn't really rooting for Jen. I feel like they didn't even really explore so much what Jen did, but more just the guilt she felt about lying to Judy about it. And because of that I felt like the two situations of Season 1 and Season 2 and what Jen did versus what Judy did felt like on completely different playing fields. Jen murdered someone. What was Judy's crime? It was an accident, and then after that, everything that she's done is just to really protect Jen and help her. Another thing I really loved about Season 1 was that we were introduced to this really shocking storyline, and it felt like every single episode there was some little twist introduced that kind of changed the story a little bit or changed your perspective on the story. And I think that was something I really enjoyed about that mystery, is that you kind of kept getting these levels added that you were like, whoa, wait, what? And it kind of just changed your perspective each episode. In this season, there were definitely a few shocking surprises, like that reveal of a new character. You know who I'm talking about. But outside of that, I felt like there weren't as many shocking twists and turns as I was hoping for. It felt like they were trying to reveal what happened between Steve and Jen as if it was going to be this big shocking thing, but I think it was kind of a little bit expected. I think especially when you look at Season 1 and how they set up all of these big twists. The main mystery of the first season was, this accidental death. And then they led into this cliffhanger that made Season 2 all about this murder. And then when we get into the cliffhanger of this season of what we can expect to go into in Season 3, I have to say it felt a little bit anticlimactic. I think compared to all the other drama that they've stirred up over the course of the past 2 seasons, to end on a cliffhanger where, there's this accident where everyone's kind of able to walk away from it, it's sort of like, okay, well, that doesn't resonate on the same level as a murder. But as much as I sort of went back and forth about this season, I will say that there were definitely some strong aspects that I did enjoy. Just in general, Linda Cardellini and Christina Applegate are really strong performers. When you are able to move away a little bit from some of the darker aspects of the show and into some of the more witty banter that they have, it's like, okay, wow, they have such a great connection. There's some fun personal moments, like the fact that Katie Segal, who was on Married with Children with Christina Applegate, comes on and plays Linda Cardellini's mom. Little moments like that are really fun to kind of be aware of. We get to dive into a queer love story in a very genuine way. I already mentioned spoilers, but I'll say it one more time. There's a spoiler coming right now, but James Marsden returns and plays a really interesting, very different character that I think just really brings a bright, shining light to this show. He really did a great job in this season, and I liked him so much more than I did in Season 1. And we also get to see some of the supporting characters take on bigger roles, like the detective or Jen's son, and it was nice to be able to see that they fleshed out some more of these characters. And as much as I enjoy the depth of them diving into certain stories, addressing things like motherhood and being a good person and guilt and secrets and lies, things like that, there were times in this show where it kind of felt like they glossed over certain stories and just kind of added them in just to button certain things up. To me, the storylines of Judy's mother or the police chief felt a little bit like an afterthought, and I was kind of like, oh, whoa, okay, where are we coming from that we're getting to this point? And when it comes to the ending of this season, it sort of feels like, they're drinking a lot of wine, a lot of things are going wrong, but everything always seems to work out in the end. There's never any real consequences. And, I think that can add to the soapiness of the show, but also it kind of feels like maybe it just makes things a little bit too easy for our characters. When it comes down to it, even though this was only 5 hours of television, the show kind of dragged for me, and I don't think that it had the same magic as season 1 had. If you guys like this one, you can check out more of my Dead to Me and Netflix reviews right over here. And I will catch you in my next video. See ya!